Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad. This is the Firefighters Financial Toolbox. Today we're going to talk about 457B plans again. And today we're going to talk specifically about the Roth option and why this may be a better option for a lot of people out there. First of all, does it make sense for you to do a Roth option versus a traditional if this is a deferred compensation package that your work provides you? I am in a 457 plan. Unfortunately, my plan does not offer a Roth option at all. So for me, it's not an option. But let's talk about who it might be a good idea for. First of all, the easiest thing is if you expect your taxes to be higher when you retire than they are now, Roth is a good option because you could pay lower taxes on it now and you get to take it out tax-free. Where traditional, the idea is you're not paying any tax, you're getting the benefit up front, but you're going to pay for it down the road. So if you think you're going to be in a lower tax bracket, it makes a lot of sense. And the way the Fed has been printing money lately, we're going to have to pay for that somewhere, and that's going to be through taxes. I personally think taxes will go up in the future. Now, I don't know this to be a fact. This is a personal opinion. But on the other side of the spectrum are people that are very high earners now who also expect that they're going to continue to be in a high tax bracket when they retire. It may make sense for them to go ahead and pay some of the taxes now so that when they are in retirement and they're still in that high tax bracket, they'll have access to some tax-free money. So let's take a look at exactly what are designated Roth 457B contributions. It's money that's taken out of your check. It's taken out after tax, so it's not taxed up front, and it does not lower your taxable income. Now let's look at the differences between traditional and Roth. Okay, so for 2020, both have a contribution limit of $19,500. In the case of the traditional, it's taken out pre-tax, and on the case of Roth, obviously after tax, so no benefit. Both of them are going to go tax-free while they're in the plan. Now, when you take out a traditional, obviously that is fully taxable at your ordinary income rate for the feds. And it may or may not have state taxes as well, depending on the state that you live in. Now, the Roth 457B plan, as long as you wait until 59 and a half, that money will come out tax-free. So some of the questions that people have asked me about this: can I contribute to both pre-tax and Roth 457 at the same time? And yes, for most plans the answer is yes. You can actually divide it up. You may decide I want to take half out traditional and half into Roth. Now the advantage to doing that is it gives you some tax flexibility when you get into retirement. Next question is, can I make catch-up contributions at age 50 and above? The answer is yes. Same exact $6,000 catch-up can go to the Roth. Now, obviously, you only get one catch-up amount, so you could divide that up. You say you do half and half. You could put $3,000 of the catch-up in traditional, $3,000 into Roth. How long do I have to contribute to the Roth 457 to get the benefit? So, just like all Roth plans, you have a 5-year clock. So the clock begins on January 1st of the first year that you make contributions. This is important if you're in your later 50s because let's say, for example, you start it when you're 55. You have 5 years before you're eligible. Now, we talked about the 59 and a half rule, but if you were not all the way through the 5-year clock, you would have to actually wait to age 60. It's very important that you understand that rule, so you're not penalized on withdrawals. Once contributions are made to the Roth 457B, can they be shifted over to a pre-tax account? No, you guys. Once you make them Roth, they're Roth forever. You can't change them back. How long will I be able to make Roth 457B contributions? You're allowed to make them as long as you are an active employee and your plan allows them. Another question I get is if I am contributing to a Roth 457, can I still contribute to a Roth IRA? Absolutely, you guys. Those are two completely different things. So if you could max out your Roth 457 at $19,500, you could also put the full $6,000 into your Roth. Those are two completely different plans. Does the Roth 457 have a contribution, a restriction on income limits like the Roth IRA? No, the Roth 457 does not restrict high earners from making contributions to the plan. There are no restrictions on income limits like there are for a Roth IRA. Can I borrow from a Roth 457B account? So this is one place where it differs, you guys, where you could do a loan sometimes from a 457 traditional. You cannot take a loan from a Roth 457B. Can I take withdrawals from my Roth 457 while I'm still working? The answer is no. This is one where you have to be done with your employment and you have to be 59 and a half before you can take withdrawals. Most cases, hardship withdrawals are also not allowed. Depends on your plan. When exactly can I take money from this? This is the thing. So, like 457 plans, when you separate from service, that money is yours. Now, unlike a traditional 457, for example, I can retire at 55. I could start taking money penalty-free from my 457 plan. That's not the case if I retired at 55 and I had Roth assets. You have to be at least 59 and a half, and you have at least to have started 5 years prior with the Roth 457. The other thing is, if with the RMD age at 70 and a half and now 72, you can actually start taking Roth money from that at RMD age if you are still working at 72. Is a Roth a good idea for you? First of all, I think for most people, if they're young, right now we're in a low tax bracket with the Tax Cuts and Job Act. Even I am saving 6% federally on my tax rate because we're in a little bit lower tax bracket. If you're just starting out, you guys, having that option to do tax-free growth for as long as you want is a strong reason for a lot of people to do Roth. Now, it's not for everybody, particularly if you and your spouse both make a good wage and you are in a higher tax bracket. It's nice to have that tax benefit in the year, save your tax a little bit. But it's something you need to think about. And as we said, you don't necessarily have to do all or nothing. You could do part in traditional, part in Roth. This gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to retirement age. Gives you a lot of flexibility. It's a good option. Now, make sure if you have a 457 plan, you talk to whoever, to your plan administrator. Ask them about the 457 Roth option. And if you have it, it may be a good choice for you. All right, guys, I hope you got something out of this. If you did, do me a favor, drop me a like. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, you guys, hit the red button, ring the bell. The community is growing. We're learning this stuff together. All right, we'll see you.